And very good. Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm so excited to have you on Ameza Live. And
Yes.
I find your story very intriguing. And so when you reached out to me, and I was like, okay, we've got to get this out there. People have got to see, hear, and know what's happening. It's important we get stories like this out there. Well, before we go on, I just want to let me give you some background. So you are an artist, singer, musician.
Yes. I'm actually an EDM singer songwriter.
Okay.
But I really have been in the entertainment business trying to make my dream come true for a really long time now. So I'm 29 now, and I've been doing this for more than 20 years. Right here is fine. Thank you. Sorry, I'm just in the Uber, but I'm getting out right now.
Okay.
But yeah, for a
Well,
long
that
time.
that gives that gives the show character, so I'm happy. That's fine.
That's what I thought too. Have a good
Yeah.
day now. Thank you. Yeah. Last year I made a web series based on my life about how when I was in LA, I became homeless after just one bad decision out in Hollywood. So I had to come back to my small town in New Mexico.
Hmm. Uh-oh. Are we losing you there? That froze. And that's what happens when you move around. Hello, Evan.
Pack. Yes, can you hear me?
Well, yes. If you froze for a little bit, so we might
Sorry
just,
about that.
yeah.
Hold on, I'm getting to my house right now. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Okay. So yeah. So yeah. I saw that you're the creator of a show called Help Hollywood. Trapped in New Mexico or something like that, right?
That's exactly it, actually.
I like that title. So yeah, give us a background why you started that.
Well, back in a couple years ago when I was sorry. Let me just get my lighting right. My apology to all your viewers.
Yes,
So
please, guys, understand. But I like this though. It makes it real. It makes it real, gives it character. Mm-hmm.
yes. So so I had went to Hollywood after I graduated high school to try to make my dream come true, right?
Mm-hmm.
And things were going good, but after just one bad decision, I ended up homeless literally on Hollywood Boulevard. So I had to come back to New Mexico, which is where I'm from, and kind of rebuild my life. And it was great because I actually campaigned for the show to be nominated for an Emmy Award, and what it did is it really renewed interest in my music career. So since then, this past year, I've just been performing, releasing music, having really good momentum, of course. But that was before the whole pandemic hit, and then kind of everything, kind of went on a halt. But what can you do?
What can you do? When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. That's an interesting take on your life. So you campaigned for for it to be nominated for the Emmy. Did you get any? Did you get nominated?
No, unfortunately, I was going against the really big studios like Fox, NBC, ABC. And, they have a lot of money. You know what I mean? But what I did is I did throw two four-year consideration premiere parties. So I went all out. I really tried to do everything possible to try to get nominated. Every performance I would have them announce it as far as this is for consideration to be nominated for an Emmy award. You know what I mean? So that was
Right.
really exciting to do
And
because I was like,
yeah,
yeah.
I think it's also inspiring for people who, fall into such hard times, because you try to educate and also inform people of your challenges. So where can this be? Where can you watch this? Where can, if my viewers want to see what this story, this show of yours, where would they go to?
They would just go to Help Hollywood. I'm trapped in New Mexico on YouTube. But also, if you Google me, just look up Evans Safford, Safford. You can find me, and then you'll be able to find the show. So
Okay, okay, because it's important. And that's something I like to do. Spotlight people, people that are
Yeah.
being a change or some kind of influence in their community. And it seemed to me you're doing that. Something else I'm kind of curious about. I'm not sure. You said you run a rub. Um, trying to read now without my glasses. A body rub companion specialist. What is that?
Um,
It's in your
so
bio, so I just did that because again, I want to give you background before we go into what happened to you. But I just wanted people to know who you are. Okay.
right. Well, see, I'm a firm believer in basically, doing whatever it takes to make it, and that's what exactly I did. As far as when I moved to Hollywood, um, I kind of got involved with some people who were kind of doing like illegal things in that sense. And I was like, you know what? You don't have to do illegal things to be able to make money. So I was like, what if I just offered a service to people and then, gave them a service to be in the presence of, a younger, good looking guy who is willing to give them a massage. You know what I mean? I also offer cuddling. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
because I couldn't, I was working a 9 to 5 job all the time. Ever since I was 15, I always had a job, By the time I was 18, I had, 30 jobs. I was working at the bank. I got fired from the bank, and they told me, "Oh, well, I guess you can't go to LA now, can you?" And I was like, "Yes, I will." On unemployment, I told them. So I did. I moved to LA with that. But yeah, I was working too many damn 9 to 5 jobs, and eventually I was just I kind of figured out a way to kind of hustle with the massage business, and then from
Okay.
there I've been able to not have to have a 9 to 5. You know what I mean? Because trying
Right.
to chase your dreams and having a 9 to 5 is
Definitely.
really really stressful. You know?
Definitely. I get that. I get that. And there are people who need what they need. So that's fine. I'm all about, there's a need out there. You fulfill that need. So yeah. So now we're gonna get into what happened to you. That was a horrible thing. Could you just, tell us what happened to you? What is this? It was a hate crime.
It
That was
was a hate crime.
Yeah. So please, yeah, tell us what it is, and we'll take it from there.
Well, before I can go into that, this like tragedy as it was, I want to talk about exactly what happened the actual day before, because what had happened is I got asked to headline the very first online Pride Parade celebration in the nation, because back in May, everybody, all of all of the countries, all of the cities had said that they were canceling Pride,
Hmm.
and then somebody who I known said that they didn't want to that Pride needed to be celebrated. And before this, I had just recently put on a virtual show with some of my local performers. So because of that, they knew that I could put on a virtual show. So they're like, "Hey, would you be the music headliner?" So it was really amazing because last year I told myself that I was going to be the headliner of the Pride Parade, and literally this year I was. So what had happened is on May 2nd, I was um, headlining it. I was outside with my mom trying to get people excited about Pride, even though everywhere was canceled. And then because of that, the next day when I was outside rehearsing at a park, which is literally just behind my house, there's like a really nice park there. I was walking. I had my headphones in, just trying to get ready because I was going to do an after show for the actual Pride show. So I was getting ready, and all of a sudden I see my little dog. She starts running from this really big dog, and then like I see the owner in the side of my eye, and then the dog ends up breaking the leash and starts running after my little dog. And then of course my mind is like, oh my god, this big dog is gonna kill my little dog. I
Hmm.
don't see the person in the side of my I don't see the person in my rear and like just in the side of my eye, I see that there's somebody there. And all of a sudden they hit me 3 good times in the face. Bam, bam, bam. And then, I get away and like I'm like, what the hell? And then the guy tells me, you should have stayed your gay ass inside, he said.
He said what? Say
So
that again.
he said, you should have stayed your gay ass inside, is what he said. And he was a neighbor. He'd seen me out here rehearsing before. He had seen me the day before out with my mom dressed in makeup, you know what I mean, just trying to celebrate Pride. So basically, because of the fact that I celebrated Pride and and I made sure that Pride wasn't canceled, basically I made myself a target to be, you know, to be a victim of a crime. So I don't know if he had a weapon in his hand, but he knocked out four of my front teeth and he shifted the rest of the side. And because of that, the dentist said that I needed to remove all my teeth. So right now, I don't have any teeth right now. I mean,
Oh my
but
goodness. So,
right,
my God, I mean, what would drive a person to do a thing like that? I mean,
right.
I'm just blown away. So so he's your neighbor. Do you know how long he's been your neighbor?
I've been here for almost about 3 years, and I probably have seen him for the past 3 years. And we actually share the same address, actually. So, because we live in one big apartment complex, and yeah, we share the same address. And I don't know why he would attack somebody who knows who he is. You know what I mean? So it's like, to me, it was kind of almost like a cry for help, almost. You know what I mean? I feel like maybe he might be in the closet or something, and maybe he kind of hates himself because of it. You know what I mean? Because who would do something like that unless they have like an emotional reason? You know what I mean? I I don't know this guy. You know what I mean? Like he has no reason to be mad at me except for maybe the fact that I'm really free about who I am, and maybe that's why he has so much hate. You know?
Because I'm thinking if, I mean, it's not like he doesn't know who you are. It's not like he doesn't
Right.
know that, this is something, I don't know how to deem that noise. Keeps coming on my screen. So, I mean, so he does know. You know what I mean? It's not like you're taking him by surprise and he's like, oh my God, this man is gay. I didn't know that. He's known this.
Right.
Hmm, that's it. Did you press
Exactly.
charges?
Oh yeah. When it happened for a second there, because I've been gay bashed before, like I've been a target before, and when it happened, a part of me almost felt like I deserved it. I was like, you know what, maybe I was outside acting gay, you know what I mean? But then immediately I'm like, you know what, fuck that. I'm not going to be a victim anymore. I'm not going to let this person victimize me. So immediately what I did is I got on my Facebook and I went on Facebook Live because I was like, you know what, I'm not going to go through this alone. I want the world to go through it with me. And then and and then I did, and I got the most comments that I ever got on a video, and the actual support has really been overwhelming, and really amazing. Um, of course, I've been trying to get on like my local news station, and I imagine because my story isn't that, I don't know, but I haven't been able to get them to actually do a story on me, so I've just been like, I'm just gonna use this as something that I feel like now I'm seeing this as a blessing because I'm just like, okay, this is something that's gonna set me apart from all the other artists. So I'm just gonna take it, as God's plan or whatever, basically.
Yeah, it is your story. You've got to own it and see what, can come out of it. Because my next question to you actually was to ask you why your local newspapers were not willing to do a story about it. I mean, why do you think they shunned you? I don't know.
Right. I'm not sure. I think that sometimes because of the fact that where I am, lots of the people here kind of are set in their kind of like older ways. So
Oh,
because of that, they don't really like to talk about this type of stuff, in the mainstream. But my hopes is that eventually they will do a story. So I'm still got my fingers crossed for that.
right. And you might just be the change, the catalyst that your city needs to see that, we're all human, I mean,
Hmm.
and interestingly, there's a point you made. You're saying that the person who attacked you is probably doing that because of self-hate. And I have heard that before. Like you find, just, let's talk about race. That's something that, unless one is living under a rock, we all know what's going on globally right now.
Okay.
The call for equality of justice and what have you. And one thing that had come up talking to a panel of people I actually interviewed is you find people who hit on blacks or non-white folks um, end up their closet lovers of black people. That came up, So
Yeah.
interestingly, when you said this guy is probably in the closet and is a cry for help, because I've also seen movies and TV shows where people beat on people that they that actually is like a mirror of themselves, like,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
That's what they say. They say
yeah.
that like love and hate is a really close emotion. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
and then also they say that people hate people usually dislike the thing that they see in themselves that they see in you. You know what I
Uh,
mean? Isn't that crazy how it is?
it's
Because you
crazy.
would think that because it's like someone have that much anger. For me, I try not to be an angry person. Like even right now, like I'm really like I'm amazed that I have so much compassion for this person because a part of me wants to be fucking mad, you know what I mean? But really, I can't. I honestly feel like, you know what? Maybe we need to educate people more, you know what I mean? Because obviously he needs to be educated. It's crazy too because I found out what his name is and like I found out his age. Me and him are the same age, you know? I mean, out of just like what a coincidence. And to
Hmm.
me, what that says is that back when I was in school, it wasn't acceptable to be gay. It wasn't acceptable to be LGBTQ. And nowadays, the like high schools and stuff, they're so accepting. It's almost like if you are homophobic, then you are an outcast because of that. But it wasn't like that growing up. It's amazing how our culture has progressed kind of. I like to think that it has, but of course after, what like recently happened, it's like something that, it's like, damn, we need to keep these talks. We need to keep, the things about race, because, there are still people who are, just ignorant and just want to be set in their, old ways of thinking. You know what I mean? It just isn't, progressive.
I am so sorry that happened to you. That is really sad. I don't believe anyone has any right to cause harm to anyone just because you disagree. I'm all about building the gap, building a bridge, to bring people together. So that's why when you reached out to me and I heard about the hate crime, I'm like, no. And then you also said no one wants, people are not, especially your local news.
Right.
I mean, this is something, well, you know what? It has to start with you. You're doing this. This is part of me supporting you and bringing awareness and education and informing people that it's okay to be different. Being
Hmm.
different doesn't, if anything, it makes us stronger, because we all pull and get something that the other doesn't have from the other. Um, that's really interesting. That's it's sad, but it's also interesting because I like the way you're handling it because it's so easy to turn to hate, but you
Right.
have decided to go the other way. You feel compassion for him, and that's probably because you've been there before. You've been in that place where you've hated yourself. Is that, again, I don't want to put words in your mouth. Why do you think you feel compassion for him?
Um, because I know what it's like to be that person who can't be themselves.
Mm.
And like whether it's, something that's inside of you or whether it's, the outside things coming at you and you just feel that need to just, just like be angry and, especially to just go after somebody, like I have felt that anger before. I have felt that. And like that's why for me, I had to, be true to who I am. And every day that I wasn't, it was fucking torture. It would make anybody want to go punch somebody's teeth out. You know what I mean?
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. But, he's at a place where you have been. And so now you've been liberated. You're free of those demons. So now you pity him like, oh, poor guy. I know how you're feeling. And it's not okay, but it's okay. All you need is love. I don't know. So,
Right. And
mm,
and he's not going to take anything else from me. Like the way that I see it, the reason why I'm continuing to go out and perform and be seen is because he tried to take something away from me and try to make me feel like I was isolated and try to make me feel like something was going to be missing from me. You know what I mean? Because my smile, I mean, a smile is a huge part of anybody. You know what I mean? And the fact that he was able to kind of take that away, there ain't no way that he's gonna take anything else. You know what I mean? And because of that, that's why even this Sunday I have a show, and people are like, "Wow, you're really gonna do a show without any teeth?" It's like, yeah, you know what? Actually, now that I don't have any teeth, I realize that actually, I'm pretty damn good looking without them, and you know what? I feel like I can still get anybody I want. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy where that confidence comes from. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what it is, but
right.
it's just
I, yeah, you've come into your own, and that's what it is. You've just, you've I'm excited for you because I liked your attitude because that takes you far. You're not
Mm,
letting him keep you down. And if this hadn't happened, you probably wouldn't be on this show. I probably wouldn't have met you. And so I'm really, I think just you being here today and the things you're doing, it's going to bring more focus to you because it gives you not just your background, but because you never know who's watching. You never know who's looking at you.
yeah.
You're like, oh my God, if you can do this, it's inspiring me. I can do it. You know what I mean? I can be strong.
Yes.
So I love, love, love your attitude. Now, I was looking at your videos and you mentioned Todrick Hall. So what was this?
Hmm.
You have a collaboration with him or what was going on?
Well, see, that day that um, I was rehearsing because I was going to be doing an after show where I was going to be premiering a video where Todrick Hall had actually, he had basically given the Little Las Vegas Pride his like seal of approval. So I was actually airing that video because he actually said it to me specifically. So that was really cool, you know. But of course, that's when I got attacked. But I did it. I was able to air it a couple of days later. You know, it was amazing to be given that approval from somebody who's that high up. You know what I mean? And
Right,
the whole
right.
thing is really bittersweet. You know, I couldn't believe it. It's like really the freaking headliner of the Gay Pride Parade. It's gay bash the next day. You know, I'm just like, you can't write a story like that. You know what I mean? It's just like,
No, you can't make that up. That is real right there. And I'm so glad that, I mean, things happen for a reason. Yes, you had to go through that pain, but he's also spotlighted you. Like you said,
And
it's kind of
see,
made
yeah,
a
because
difference.
you know how it is. Like it's so hard, being because right now our market is so oversaturated with artists. You know what I mean? I mean, I love all the artists, but especially since the pandemic, like everyone's online, everyone has a song out, everyone has a podcast out, and it's like to try to stand out between the noise. Sometimes it makes you go fucking crazy trying to, you know what I mean? But now it's like, with this being, my like teeth knocked out, it's like, I feel like I'm kind of like Fetty Wap with like my eye or something. You know what I mean? Or just like this is my thing. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have planned it out this way. You know what I mean? But when I think back on like last year, and like I think if I would have told myself that this was gonna happen, I kind of get sad. But then at the same time, it's like when people want to come up to me and like kind of pity me, it's like, you know what? I don't need your pity. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like I really don't, because I'm doing good. You know what I mean? And it's gonna get better. You know, and it's always darkest before the dawn. You
You're
know?
so right about that. It gets better. It gets better. It does.
I know.
No,
I need to tell this guy that it gets better. You hit people like
it gets better. Yeah, that's what you should probably tell him. Like, dude, I feel you. It gets better. Okay.
right.
Oh God. Your poor mother. How did she cope when when you got attacked? How did she feel?
She's always been right there when like so bad has happened to me. She's always been there. So I was really again embarrassed that it happened, but she's been just really inspired by how I've been taking it too. And of course she's been I've been having to hold her back from going over to his house and beating up his mother, but
Hey, mama bear, you can't,
right.
I'm a mom, so I know how that is. It's you don't touch one's child, it will drive you crazy. So something I again one thing I try to do, and that's why I wanted to talk to you, because there might be people out there, just maybe like your neighbor in the closet, and or are scared to live their life to the fullest. Um, how was it? Again, it's up to you if you want to talk about this. How was it coming? Did you ever? Well, you did say so. Lived in a closet for a little bit, but how was it when you came out? How was that? How was that journey for you?
Well, for me, I I came to a conclusion a while back that I'm not gay, but I'm definitely not straight. So I don't label
Mhm.
myself. I haven't been with a woman for many years. So when I was basically having to come out, it was just the fact that I was so tired of having to lie,
Mm.
just having to cover more lies with other lies, and it was just so many lies that I just couldn't get straight. And eventually, I'm just like, you know what? I need to be honest. And when I was able to be honest finally, that's when really everything kind of clicked, because from there I was able to literally go from working at DirecTV doing sales calls. From there, I was able to launch my own business, which is the body rub business. Because had I not been out, I wouldn't have been able to, structure a business where I give massages to, men who are, most of them are, they are in the closet, or they are just older and they really don't have, a significant other, but and I feel like now being able to, see it from like both spectrums, I feel like again, I can take over the world. You know what I mean? Nothing's gonna stop me. You know what I mean? Because it's just like seeing it. Because just like you said, being able to see things differently. So many people they don't want to have new information. They don't want to see from other people's perspectives. And to me, that's like they're like basically poking out their eyes, because it's like, why don't you want to see? You know what I mean? Because you could be wrong. Do you think that you are so that like everything, that you couldn't possibly be wrong? Don't you want to learn that? And I think that a lot of people, they do choose to be in ignorance, and they've kind of accepted the fact that that's what their life is. And that's really sad, because it does get a lot better if they would just free themselves out of those chains that they put themselves in. You know what I mean?
So, in your part of the country where you are there a lot of protests going on against, with what's going on? Do you see that happening in New Mexico? Are there people protesting what's been, like what's been going on globally?
Oh
Is there
yeah.
that going on?
uh just on Monday, a protester was actually shot after trying to take down a statue out here, and he was killed. Unfortunately, I couldn't believe that it was happening out here, but it's it's about time that this outrage is um, you know, brought to light, because we definitely need change. You know what I mean? And there's so much change that needs to be made. I couldn't believe I just heard yesterday that they're actually discontinuing Aunt Jemima syrup. Just because they see how there's racial tendencies in that. You know what I mean? It's just like it's amazing how much progress is kind of being made. It's a shame that we had to go through this. Because these are bad times to have our president, the pandemic. It's just like, oh my God, there's so much. But I guess just like with me getting hit in the face, it was change that needed to be done, and hopefully we're gonna all come better out of it.
Yeah, we can all, we hope things change. I think things that have been swept under the rug eventually, gets to be too much and it's just going to seep out or sometime explode.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, it does happen when you sweep things under the rug. Eventually, it's gonna come out. Um, so one of the interviews I did, and you find now with all this protesting going on, it's not just blacks. You find a lot of non-blacks involved in it. And I actually spoke to a colleague of mine who is member of the LGBTQ. And what she said, I'm just curious what your take is on this. She said, well, you do find a merger, you find the two groups coming together, Black Lives Matter and LGBTQ. And that's the reason why is because they also, people, members of LGBTQ, have also been discriminated against. So now they understand what it is to what the blacks have always been fighting for. Do you think there's an element of truth in that?
It's amazing that you say that, because right when all this stuff started happening, I put up a post that said that I am George Floyd, and I said that those protests are for me. And it was really controversial when I put it up, because I got people who started hating on me immediately. And like, I told them, I was like, well, the thing is that that person who attacked me, they're basically in some sort of power, just like the cops were in like some sort of power. You know what I mean? And then when they attacked me, this man didn't attack me thinking that he was going to be able to. He didn't attack me thinking that he was going to go to jail. Just like the person who set on George Floyd didn't think he was going to go to jail. You know what I mean? So these people both thought that they could get away with something. You know what I mean? And because of that, that's why I feel that yes, there is a really, really strong relation. And honestly, it was crazy because when I got attacked, the cops treated me like I was like almost like I was the criminal. Like, they didn't want to touch me. they were telling me, oh, calm down, sir. I'm over there bleeding. You know what I mean? The freaking ambulance wouldn't even touch me. The cops are, as soon as I said something about being gay back, I swear to God, they changed their whole, you know what I mean? So like, I knew something was going to happen. I could feel it. Something was going to happen with the fucking cops because with the whole pandemic, I feel like the cops have been basically, they've been given a pass to kind of do whatever the fuck that they want. The cops they didn't even have to come inside my house. You know what I mean? And then like, I lived behind the police station. It took them 45 minutes to get here. And when they get here, as soon as I told them that I was recording a Facebook Live, they're like, oh no, we can't be on camera, they told me. So then they made me sit in front of my apartment like some, circus show, bleeding, you know what I mean? And then, all they can do is say, well, you have to go to a dentist. And then they literally handed me a freaking ice pack and then that was it. You know what I mean? So I felt like, what basically happened to me and like the way that they approached it was probably a reason why that escalated to what happened with George Floyd. You know what I mean? I see that. And of course, I'm not going to be, say that, one is more relevant because it's not because the thing is that the problem is that there are certain people in power who see people who are different. And as soon as they're different, that basically gives them a reason to be able to, get away with shit, whether it's mistreating us, whether it's not giving us the help that we need, whether it's not, giving us the rights that we need when we're arrested. You know what I mean? Like there is, you know what I mean? And like that whole thing of people treating others differently because they're different needs to be stopped. You know what I mean? There has to be that consistent way that, things are approached. You know what I mean? And unless stuff like this is going to continue to happen, you know what I mean? It's really true.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. And I'm actually just shocked at the way you said you were treated, okay. So what happened? Did they take your neighbor away? Did they handcuffed? I'm just curious, and I'm being, what happened when, the cops were called? Did he deny it? Did he fight them? Was he taken away? Was he arrested?
Well, as soon as I got attacked, I went inside my house. I saw him walk away because he has to pass my house to basically leave. So I saw him walking, and like I was on the phone with 911, and like I'm like I can see him walking away. And then when I got the police report the next day, I finally it said that I guess that like they went to knock, but then they couldn't find him. I told my apartment complex, and I guess that they gave him an eviction notice, but he lives with his mom. So they told him to leave, but basically because he's there illegally, there's nothing that they can really do.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then literally the day afterwards, I walked outside and then like I saw him again, and then he was outside again, and then literally he told me again, I thought I told you to stay your gay ass inside. He told me. I'm just like, what the fuck? So then literally the next 4 days, I called 911 at least twice every single day, trying to get them to come. And every single time I did it on live video too to make sure. Okay. Then get this. So then what was crazy is that on that Thursday, I wake up to see that the tree closest to my apartment, like the tree closest to my apartment got burned down. Like, it was like lit on fire. And like, all I can think about is that this is him trying to retaliate. So I called him again. I was like, this person just, I was like, someone committed an arson now. And they're doing it because they're trying to fucking retaliate because of the fact that I reported what happened to me. And then finally, when I hashtagged APD, which is Albuquerque Police Department, finally I get a call from the freaking sheriff or whatever the next day. So it's amazing what social media does, because before people didn't have access like this. I can't imagine what what like people went through, because if it wasn't for social media, I probably wouldn't have got a call from the actual detectives. You know what I mean? And I still see this motherfucker walking around right now. You know what I mean? But thankfully, I'm dealing with this organization called Safe to Be You, and right now we are definitely doing lawsuits against the apartment complex. We're doing it against the police station because 2 days before he attacked me, he was out here shooting BB guns at homeless people. So he should have been arrested. So he should have been taken away. You know what I mean? So because of that, that's a lawsuit. You know what I mean? Because he should have been. You know what I mean? Like what happened to me could have been prevented had they done their fucking job. And like I'm just like I'm learning what it means to have patience, because I'm just like, justice is gonna be served. Maybe it can't be served right away, but I'll tell you what, he has avoided me though. My mom said that when she dropped me off the other day, that she saw him like waiting for me to get inside because he doesn't want to be seen by me. Because as soon as I see him now, I'm at a point where I'm just pissed off. Because I'll be like, what the fuck you doing here? Don't fucking come. You know what I mean? Just like, because it's funny that he calls me gay, but he's the one that sucker punched me. who hits somebody when they're not looking? You know what I mean? At least give me a shot. You know what I mean? Like that's the most gay thing you can do, right? Just hit somebody when they're not looking.
Well, I'm glad we can laugh about this. I'm glad you're not dead, you know. And I mean, that might sound really morbid, but I'm glad you have your life. You
No.
know, it could have been
Yeah.
really bad if he actually is shooting BB guns at homeless people. Well, those are things people should take into consideration. And, you know, hopefully you keep doing what you're doing, keep creating awareness and bringing attention to injustice and, you know, nuisance, you know, people who are, because, you know, there should be no tolerance for people who think they're better than everybody else. That's just not how the world works. So,
Exactly.
you
That's
know,
exactly why I'm doing this,
yeah,
because the way that I see it is that, I was lucky, and then also because of the fact that I'm so strong, I can go out and talk to you and people like you who can share this message, because what's gonna be because what happened to me could happen to somebody else. You know what I mean? Unless this message is spread, and other people they don't deal with it as well as I do. You know what I mean? Some people will never leave their house again after something like this happens to them. You know what
true.
I mean? So I want to try to so in that sense, I'm glad that it happened to me as opposed to someone who couldn't deal with this because it is a lot to deal with.
It is a lot to deal with, and I thank you for coming on my show, Amez Alive. I totally, I'm appreciative of this. And like I said, when you reached out to me, I'm like, hate crime, now we need to spotlight this, you know. And
Yeah.
just I followed, you know, some of the things that you're doing. I'm like, well, we shouldn't stop him, you know, when someone is, you're gifted. I believe so. I've seen some of the things you've done, and I'm like, this is nice. So you just keep doing you. You know, that's the thing. When sometimes I've been told this a long time ago, um, people care. Jealous people only bother with people that are trying to, you know, that are being successful. So if you
Yep.
weren't,
Yep.
yeah, if you weren't doing anything, it wouldn't matter. But it just seemed like, oh my God, he's getting attention. He's going somewhere. He's, you know, he's getting things done. Let's try to take him down. If you weren't going anywhere, no one will care. Do you see what I'm saying?
Thank you.
So,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes. Thank you for
yeah.
saying that.
Yeah. So, so if you want to go ahead and plug anything, I always give people an opportunity to do that. Your social platform, what you want people to do to support you. So go ahead, just you know, where we
Well,
can find you,
please,
you know, stuff like that. Mhm.
please, check me out. You can Google me just by searching Evans Safford. That's EvanSafford, and you can check me out on Instagram. It's under Evans Explosion. So that's EVAN. So basically, it's like just like explosion, Evans Explosion. You'll find my Instagram, my YouTube, and today I'm actually going to be launching my OnlyFans page. So OnlyFans isn't just for people who want to take off their clothes. It's also for music too. So check me out on there.
Lovely. Thank you for coming on. And you know, something I also want to remind you. Oh, you just cut me off. Oh my goodness. No, sorry, oh my God. I'm gonna have to edit this now. Oh my goodness. Can you see me?
Yes, I can.
You can still see me. My phone just started ringing. Oh my goodness. Oh Lord. And I thought I had it.
It's
Anyway,
all good. It's technical
it's all good.
difficulties.
Okay. I'm like, what? Okay. Um, so something you said, the first, how did you say, the first online gay parade?
Yep, online pride parade. Yep, in the
Okay,
nation. Yes,
right.
ma'am.
Lovely. That was because I do remember they said they were going to cancel it, and then you know,
Hmm.
like, wow, okay, that's good. That's, I mean, again, you're going places. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you so much. I really can't tell you how much this means for me, for you to share me with your audience. Because I know that your audience is really sacred. So really, thank you for that.
yeah, yeah. I'm all about bridging the gap. I'm all about spotlighting people. We all can be the same. If we're all the same, then we're boring, you know.
Right. Whack.
So, I mean, not everyone is going to agree with me, but that's okay. You know, I'm all about creating awareness, and we're different. We're all different, but then we're all the same. You know what I mean? So it makes it
Right.
longer. So who knows? You might come back again. Maybe there might be something you want to share with the audience, and you'll be back on
Yes.
the show. But thank you so much, Evan. I'm glad we're able to spotlight you. That's what I do on my channel, my YouTube channel, and also my podcast, which is AMZ Live. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at AMZ Superstar. So, or write directly to me at amezasuperstar@gmail.com. I'm sure I'm going to get letters from after the show airs. You know, people always have something to say, and that's fine. If you have to come back and
Yeah.
ask questions, then we'll have you back. Okay.
Yes. Can't wait. I can't wait.
So
Thank you
thank
so
you
much.
so much. It's lovely having you on, and you keep doing you.
Thank you, baby. I will. Take
All
care
right.
now. Okay.
You take care.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye now.